Hello everyone, Tina here. I'm back again to share a project with you using some items from Papertrey Ink. I hope you're ready for an adventure. Today we are using the Going Places stamp set. This stamp set has a coordinating die set that has tags that you can create, travel tags. So we're going to be using this. And then for my background, even though you're not going to be seeing very much of it, I thought we would use the Incredible Views stencil collection for my background, just to add a little bit of something there, and stencils are always a great way to do that. So first off, we're going to create our stencil background, I should say. So let's bring in our grip mat. This is a 5-piece stencil set, and although it's not indexed, which is not a bad thing because with the background you kind of don't need it to be numbered, but it is indexed with Papertrey Ink's name, so you know which corner is the right corner. Okay, so let's take our clouds first in a piece of white cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and tack this down. Took us no time at all, but look how pretty this is. Just adding those dark details. You see the depth that adds? It's just lovely. Okay, that's our background. I am going to take my paper trimmer, and what I'm going to do is take just to keep it centered, what I'm going to do is take a 1/4 inch off of each side. This way I can have my card base showing. Okay, so I just made it 1/4 inch smaller, and this way this will fit behind our card base. For my card base today, it's a standard A2 size card base, and then I'm going to be using a piece of cardstock. This is Papertrey Ink's Canyon Clay cardstock. I'm going to cover my card base with a panel. So that's our card base, and then I'm going to take my background panel. We're going to add some adhesive, and we're going to tack this right in the middle. No dimension yet, just we're going to add dimension with our stamp set and our tags. So that's our background. We're going to put this to the side along with our stencils, and then we're going to work with our tags. Let's go ahead. This is our stamp set, Going Places. And actually, you know what, while we have this out, what I'm going to do is take this border here, and I'm going to stamp it at the very bottom. Here. Okay, and then I have some Post-it note tape or some low tack tape. What I'm going to do is just add it to the left and the right. I could probably even slide it in here. There we go. Then I can line it up here. And then for this piece here, we're going to use, I want it to stand out, so I'm going to use some dark chocolate ink. So let's add dark chocolate. This way you can actually see it. And I think that looks great. And then while we're at it, let's go ahead and stamp our greeting. For today's greeting, I'm using this sentiment that says, "Travel is good for the soul." And I'm going to place it down this bottom area. And I'm going to use that same brown ink, which is dark chocolate, and we're going to go over this greeting. Now we're going to work on our luggage tags. And that is good to go. Now we're going to work on our luggage tags. So let's bring in our die set. For today's card, we're going to be using a mixture of colors. I thought we would use Spring Rain. We have some dark chocolate, and I have some white cardstock. Once I have everything die cut, we're going to do some heat embossing on this tag. But first, we're going to add the tag topper. So I'm just going to use my tape runner. I'm doing this so this way I can gauge where to stamp my greeting. We'll just tack this down. And you know, while we're at it, let's go ahead and add our reinforcement. I'm going to use a white one here. Okay, and might as well do this one too. Let's punch this one out, and let's add our topper here. For this one, I'm going to use a blue reinforcement. Actually, we'll use a white. Okay, this one, we're going to go ahead and treat our paper with some anti-static powder. I'm going to bring in an acrylic block, and for this tag, I'm going to stamp Bon Voyage. I'm going to stamp this with my watermark ink. Give that a good press. And then I'm going to add some white embossing powder. Wonderful. Now, for this tag, I'm going to bring in another greeting, and we're going to just stamp this in the upper portion here. And our Paradise Awaits is wonderful. Now is the fun part. You have all these extra elements to help decorate your tag. And I thought we would add some stripes to this upper portion here. And then lastly, I did take my New Leaf ink and I stamped that arrow there. Nice thing about these sets is you can kind of be your own little ticket master. We're going to thread our tags The thread that I'm using is from Papertrey Ink. If you haven't tried their baker's twine, I know you guys will love it. Let me show you. This is their black and white. It's nice and thin. It's on a wooden spool, which is beautiful, so they sit on your shelf just lovely. Very lovely quality twine. I can highly recommend it. They also have natural twines that are just wonderful. The thickness is so nice. I always like to use these for like spring. This one is more geared for my fall cards, and then this one is more geared for my spring cards. But Papertrey Ink has some wonderful baker's twine and twine that I'll list below. Okay, let's add a little bit more, and then we'll thread this one. So my tags are done. My arrow, let's put a foam square behind here. And then my little symbol here. What we're going to do is bring in some more foam tape, and we're going to arrange these tags in the front. And we're probably, of course, I did mention we're going to cover up that sun for the most part. And I think that's going to work out great. So what we're going to do is layer these two together. Next, I'm going to bring in my Papertrey Ink Rainbow Gems, and I'm just going to add a little bit of extra sparkle. And I'm using my Glossy Accents. I always like to go over my raised circles here, even if it's just with a little bit. And that will finish off my card project for today. When this dries, I just love the way that looks, usually with circles too, because it just gives that extra depth and dimension to your cards, a little extra texture to your cards. But that's my card today. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you again for another project. I have one more project to share with you using some new items from the release. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.